And when I let the rod sit still like this, I'm looking at the line the entire time. Because if a fish comes and grabs that, I'm going to see that line just have a little twitch to it. I'm also holding, if you can see this, I'm holding my index finger in my left hand on the line. That gives me a chance to feel what's going on my line before I can even see it. So there's a hit right there, and I don't know if I've got it hooked, but I think I do. I've got to get used to this doggone camera out here, but because I just hit it on the hook set, but I've got my first fish. So I've been fishing for what, 5 minutes or so, and here's my first fish coming in on the tube, hoping I set the hook well enough and see what I've got here. Looks like a small lake trout. Yeah, he's really pumping there, trying to do his best to stay out there. You know, we're supposed to be keeping these lake trout if it's a laker, and it is a laker. Nice little lake trout, so I'll go ahead and keep this one. Take it home with us. These small lake trout are overtaking the reservoir, which is fine. They're wonderful fish to catch, and they're great eating fish for right here. But there we go. So there's the first fish of the day, about a 20-inch or so lake trout, and that'll be some good eating. That's how I'm rigged. Got a little white tube with a 1/4 ounce weight on it, and I'm just putting a little piece of night crawler. Those are actually, because I do want to show you how fun this is to be able to just have a rod in your car and practically any reservoir you stop at when you happen to be going on a ride, doing a little family vacation, whatever, you can stop and catch fish. It's bait, and they're feeding. It's springtime. It's, you know, they're feeding up. Some of them are getting ready to spawn. Others are just living their lives and feeding. And so, and when they feed, they'll come in and pick crawdads off this shallows, and trout will do that the same way bass do. And so the fact that I'm here, the fact that I'm continuing to cast and make casts and reel in is definitely letting the fish know that there's something going on over here. So fish will become more active, and they'll become more curious, and they'll come by and take a look. And since I've caught a nice lake trout, and I've had 2 other fish on in 30 minutes, then you just realize that the fish are curious, and they're coming in to take a look. So it's kind of fun. That time I picked up a little trash, and that's one thing that I think it's important to know. If you're bringing moss back, just take a second and clean it off. Make your presentation just look as good as it possibly can to the fish. You know, sometimes I see fish that'll just pick up those baits with moss hanging on them, and no big deal. But I want to be sure that I'm making the very, very best presentation to entice a strike. And so see if I can't take advantage of the fact that I saw a nice trout jump right here, and it was right in the shallows. It was absolutely in the shallows. So he either had a crawdad that he found. In fact, I see one right now. I see a fish kind of circling around, and I'm going to try to throw to him. I don't think you can see. Oh, there's a fish that followed me in. Oh, well, yeah, we've got a bunch of fish right here. I was looking at a completely other fish, trying to get back here and get in a position to catch him and cast out again. And I think I've got a little pod of, I think they're rainbows down here for sure, that are starting to get active. So that's kind of fun. It's just, I'm only about 15 yards away from where I originally started. But it's really cool to see these fish get active. And I thought I was fishing for one fish that kept swimming over. There we go. And it turns out that it wasn't the fish that I thought it was. So There he got off. That's gotta run fast. Gotta run fast. Oh yeah, there we go. Another nice fish. Now that I literally just had a small piece of the tube, or of the night crawler on this tube. So as I bring this in, I'll come over and try to show you what we're catching. But these are such gorgeous fish. Look at that. Look at the colors. Look at the colors on that rainbow. And he hit that at the top, in the top of the mouth. When a fish takes it in the top of the mouth, you know they're wanting to eat. There he is, right there. Oh, nice rainbow. Probably 16, 17 inches. What a beautiful, beautiful rainbow. Let's get him back in the water. There he goes, swimming away. So we'll just see. But this is so fun to see this many fish in the shallows. You know, and the fact is, if you see fish in the shallows, that means that there's also fish out deeper. It's not a given that there's only fish in the shallows. But so you don't have to worry about just taking short casts to the fish that come up, because see, all those fish are gone now. There we go. And that fish came and got it clear out deep, just like I was thinking. Just exactly as I was thinking. It's another very, very nice fish. And I want you to notice this, you know, when these fish come in, they don't look like they're spawning. They don't look like they're changing colors. This is just I think this is just a feed that they're on right now. They're just out here feeding. And top of the mouth again. There it is. That's a little smaller fish, but it's still a wonderful fish. Look at those colors. Off it goes. There we go. There we go. That feels like a good fish. Hasn't come up to the surface yet. Maybe it's a lake trout, who knows? On the green tube again. Look at that fish. That looks like another lake trout. Yes, sirree. Another nice little laker. As I've said before, these are the ones that they want you to take home because Flaming Gorge is being overrun by them, so we will oblige them and take a few home with us. Once again, as we've already talked, look at where that's just at the edge of the top of the mouth, not quite the dead top of the mouth. Not right there, but right there. So that would be called the side. We're still in what I consider the top of the mouth. So that's awesome. Really good, really fine little lake trout. Very good eating. Well, that was a great little lake trout. Now what I did on that one is I let that tube once again go all the way down to the bottom. I think a tiny bit earlier this morning the fish were up higher in the water column, and therefore they were biting a little bit better while I was reeling. But what I've discovered is, since I've been fishing here, I can let this go down to the bottom and just twitch it a little bit and let those lake trout come down and actually pick those, or even the rainbows come out down and pick them up off the bottom. So there's another one right there. So once again, it's just a matter of finding out what the fish want and giving it to them. I mean, this is one of the coolest things that you can do, is realize you can go park your car, walk down about a quarter of a mile to a reservoir, have so few pieces of tackle in your possession that it's kind of crazy, and still be able to catch fish. It's really a fun way to spend a little while of on your vacation. Now this is not a lake trout, this is another nice rainbow, but you just look at the colors on this one. Just gorgeous, gorgeous fish. And notice where he took it. Top of the mouth, absolute top of the mouth. That means that fish wanted that bait. And all they've done is they've gone down in the water column just a little bit. So instead of chasing around up top, they're going back down and eating a little bit closer to the bottom. It's really all that's going on. So there it is. There's a beautiful rainbow. Look at the coloration of that fish. That's not one of those spawners that are changing colors. That's just a absolutely beautiful Flaming Gorge rainbow trout. And there he goes. But I pulled it right out of his mouth. There we go. There's another one. Boy, these sure feel like great fish. They're fighting really hard, and I can feel their head shake. And that's always a good indication that they're really feeding heavy. Is when they shake their heads like that. This one looks like perhaps another lake trout. There we go. There we go. Another lake trout. Oh, and amazing. I wonder where he's hooked. How about the top of the mouth? They're feeding. These babies are feeding right now. And that's a really nice solid lake trout. I like the heavier hooks, but for trout I like the light wire hooks that bend a little bit if you need them to. It helps with your hook set, and so remember that when you're buying little ball heads like this, that you can buy them either with light wire or heavy wire. There we go. There we go. There's another one. That hit about 3 or 4 times before I didn't think it was the bottom hitting. Then I finally trusted it and set the hook. Another beautiful rainbow. Top of the mouth. There we go. No, that was actually bottom of the mouth. Well, that might have been a little bit of a change in their eating. Look at that fish. Beautiful, beautiful rainbow trout. Ooh, there he goes. Gone. Well, we were just about to head on back to the cabin, and we've only been here for a couple hours, but we were planning to just head on back, and I thought, well, I'll make a couple more casts, and we found a pocket of fish out here that just are absolutely willing to bite, but you have to finesse them, let that tube get all the way to the bottom, and then just very, very slowly pop it. Just take the tip of your rod and just move it just a little bit, and I'm running the risk of getting hung up practically every time, but it's worth it because those fish are coming up and really are interested in taking that bait, and we've caught several lake trout and several more rainbows, and we're releasing all the rainbows, and we've only kept 3 lake trout, but you can keep 8 lake trout the size that I've been catching, and the DWR wants you to take those lake trout home because they're overrunning the population of other species of fish in Flaming Gorge. It's interesting, you know, they were worried about the burbot and how much they were eating, and now they're worried about the lake trout and how much they're eating. I just wonder if they'll ever be satisfied. Brian Mosley, the DWR, does a really fine job here at Flaming Gorge. I've been really happy with partnering with him on some things and working with him. Little piece of moss came in. I wanted to make sure I got that off my rig before I threw it back out, and then we just literally just let it sit until I feel like it's on the bottom. And as soon as it gets down to the bottom, I just start shaking the rod tip to get that thing just moving just a little tiny bit back towards me, hopping up and down. I call it a yo-yoing technique, but in reality you could call it a shaking technique. Those fish have been very willing to come over, and I'm sure they first inspect it, look at it, and then as soon as it starts to twitch, they decide they want to eat it. There we go. There we go. Got another one. Another beautiful rainbow. Strip and drag. Well, that's a fat fish. Okay, that one, the rainbows are now taking them in the side of the mouth or the bottom of the mouth, so they're not feeding quite as well as they were. But boy, they want that thing crawled back to them. So, what a nice rainbow! Go get him. Go Bal. There we go. Well, it's time to close this segment off. It's been a wonderful morning fishing for rainbows and lake trout on Flaming Gorge. We just literally parked our car on the side of the road, my wife Jerry and I, and just came down to the shore and started throwing green tubes and white tubes tipped with nightcrawler, and the fish have transitioned all morning from wanting it very, very slow, a retrieve, to a faster retrieve, and it's just been an awesome morning. We caught several lake trout that we're taking home because they're the right size that the Fish and Game want you to keep a few of those. The limit is 8 a day of the size that we were catching. But we've been releasing all of our rainbows, and this is just one of the smaller of the rainbows that we've caught. But wonderful fish, healthy, beautiful. If you decide to eat one of these rainbows, they're absolutely pink meat. And they're wonderful fish. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos on the specifics of how I tie the lines together, how I tie my SX braid that I use Sunline to my fluorocarbon line, and also the tubes that I'm using and the tackle that I'm using, including my rods and reels. So stay tuned for more. Please like the video. Subscribe to our channel, and please comment. Let us know what other kind of videos you'd like us to shoot, and we'll be doing so shortly. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.